We're happy on the rapid reaction again in Rupp Arena after the Cats just rolled the Tide. 117-95 here in Rupp Arena. We knew it would be a high-scoring affair, but we didn't expect to go exactly like that. 117 points, getting them from some new faces, lighting up the scoreboard there too. We'll get to that in a moment, but we're just celebrating after Kentucky took down the first place Crimson Tide here in Rupp. The place had been a little broken there for a while, Jack. Had some tough losses, but on this Saturday, Big Blue Nation, they answered the bell as they had done in past games, but this time they're leaving happy with some smiles. We found a new lineup. Got a little Rob, little Reed, Reeves, Justin Edwards, and Big Z had a big day. Let's just get right into Justin Edwards because it was the Justin Edwards game. 10 for 10 from the field. Only the third player in school history to have a perfect game from the field with at least 10 shots. The other two, when they did it, they didn't even take a three. Edwards went 4 for 4 from three, and no one is happier than the rapid reaction crew, especially this guy. I sat next to him, and he was cheering on the press box.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you were. You were cheering very loud. I don't care because you should have been cheering. I wanted to cheer with you, but I know you were thrilled for Justin, and he, as big as it was to beat Alabama, the story is him finally breaking out. It's been step, step, step. He bursts out of the shell today.
Isn't it kind of funny that the last guy who had a perfect game in the Cal era was Nick Richards? The same kind of story. I know you, that's near and dear to your heart, but the same story. A kid that just kind of showed bursts in moments where you were like, that's it, but why can't he just sustain it over any extended period of time? And he finally had that moment. He talked about, having confidence struggles and needing to talk to a mental health coach. And, Cal called a shot with him back in December, for second week of December, and said he's going to have a game where he scores 30 points. And everybody at the time was like, yeah, it's just Cal kind of going through the motions, trying to build, confidence artificially. But how much trust is there in actually doing that? And kind of the overall product up to this point, just him getting to double figures was a celebration up to this point, but he never had that hoorah, aha moment up to this point. And just watching him kind of figure himself out defensively and just kind of put together this all-around performance where the shots finally start to fall, it was like, man, this kid, if there was one guy that you were rooting for to kind of have that moment, it was Justin Edwards. I'm just so proud of him. And Cal had this moment where as he checked out for the last time, he was like double fist pumping to the crowd to Rupp Arena, like, dude, he earned this. Celebrate him, give him the standing ovation he deserves. And I hope it turns into a end of season burst, but even if this is just kind of what it is and we can celebrate this, I'm glad he got to experience this in front of yet another incredible Rupp Arena crowd.
It was so fun, and 28 points, I mean, that's awesome. 10 for 10, that's incredible. Third time ever, we just said that. But it's more so he just looks like a different person. He is smiling. He was in a big funk there. I mean, there's the game where he took a three and it hit the backboard and he goes straight to the bench, and you're worrying about the kid's well-being at that point. That kid's gone. The Justin Edwards that was here today in Rupp Arena, walking around with confidence. I love when he came out to do the Jack Givens interview. He got another loud roar from the crowd. It was one of the biggest crowds for postgame, too. They stuck around to see Justin, but it's just the confidence and that he finally broke out of whatever it was. Hopefully it's consistent. We'll see. This is one game, but it looks like he's just personally turned a corner internally, and we're just happy for him on that. But he's not the only one that had a breakout game, and I know you're excited about this one. Jacob over here, he was cheering for Big Z. We got Jack over here wanting to paint his face for Justin Edwards. We got him wanting to buy a Big Z jersey. Jacob, what did you think about Big Z, who a guy we wondered if we'd even see him again? Now he's part of the five Cal bragged about after the game and had several Big Z moments today.
Yeah, I think we all saw that lob, which was amazing, but just to see him get a career high in minutes, get his career high in points, it's just great to see him get extended play out there, because the problem I've had with Big Z is I feel like he'll be out there and he just struggles to get into a rhythm because he's not playing enough minutes. And so to see him get extended minutes, get into a rhythm, and then do what he did tonight, career high in points, 5 rebounds, and 18 points, 7-11 from the field. It was just great to watch, and it would be something that a lot of us would be talking more about if Justin Edwards didn't have the game that he had.
It's good to see them do it together. Two guys that kind of had gone through ups and downs, hitting it at the same moment. Did we have a favorite Big Z moment? Was it the dunk, the alley-oop from?
Yeah,
it was the poster.
Gotta be the poster.
What about the other dunk on this end? With he's doing the chin-ups. You and I both said stop it. He could have gotten teed up there. Are we going to just let him get away with those?
Somebody on our message board said that he reminds me like a lost puppy dog. But he's our puppy dog. He's the guy that you kind of live through the mistakes. I compared him to like a 7'2" Rob Dillingham, like OTE version of Rob Dillingham, where he just does so many incredibly wild, fascinating, incredible things, and then he'll do some just really dumb things. And Cal, I'm glad that he kind of had that. They're 19-year-olds. They do stupid things because you don't want to just throw that stupid word. But like, there's sometimes you're just like, Z, my guy, I love you, I adore you, but we can't be doing chin-ups. We can't be just, he's like an 8-year-old that you just like playing his first, rec league basketball game that's just so much clearly better than everybody else out there, but like has so many flaws as well. You're just kind of like, man, we got to live through them. We got to fix those mistakes, but I love you for who you are, and we accept you for who you are, Big Z. Thank you for being who you are.
I liked early in the game, he was a little lost. Right away on the defensive end, gave him a basket, lost on offense. Cal turns and gets Ugo, says, get him. Then Big Z kind of flips in. Was that his first basket? The finish from Reed?
Like
okay, yeah, I thought this. In the moment he got those 2 points, Cal got Ugo, said come back, and then what Big Z ended up playing nearly 30 minutes. It felt like. On that, Cal talked about that 5 that I mentioned in a little intro here. The Rob Dillingham, Reed Shepard, Antonio Reeves, Justin Edwards, and then Big Z, a 5 that I don't think anyone would have predicted would have played the way they did. But Cal talked about them a lot after the game.
I think they scored 28 points in 6 minutes, which is just Reed was told that stat line, and like he kind of had this moment where he was like bringing out his toes, like doing the math. And he was like, yeah, I don't think that math even makes sense. But when you look, scoring 100 points with 8 minutes left on this, it's like, yeah, you had to have scored them quickly somehow. That's where they got it. And Nate Oates, kind of curmudgeon at the podium, and like he just kind of is who he is. But he even said, I think I kind of made Cal's job easier for him because that lineup clearly worked. They can talk about how bad that it is defensively all they want, but if they go down and score every single freaking possession, it doesn't matter because you can beat the hell out of anybody you play. So I don't know what that's going to look like when Trey Mitchell comes back, but clearly there is a theme here, and that theme is, again, positionless basketball players, guys who can shoot at all 5 positions. I just appreciate that Cal kind of saw that and just said, we got to outscore Alabama. It's the #1 scoring team in college basketball. Let's just beat the hell out of them at their game. We got the horses. Let's run a horse race, and took care of business.
It's crazy if you had told Nate Oates that they would score 95 points, shoot 56% from the field, 57% from the field, and lose by 22. I mean that math doesn't math there, but that's what happened. Jacob, is Antonio Reeves a cheat code? We're raving about Edwards and Big Z because they were awesome, but Reeves just keeps doing it. What was he, 7 for 10 from the field for 24 points? 24 points on 10 shots, and it just feels normal when he does that.
I feel like he just gets forgotten about because he is so consistent and he does this every single night he plays. So it's hard to applaud him because when we have a game like Justin Edwards, we haven't seen this from him. We've seen this from Reeves, and we see it all the time. So he's great. He really is making an All-American campaign. So this was another great performance in a great season.
And I do want to add, like, the ESPN College Game Day crew kind of singled out Mark Sears as, like, hey, that's the one guy that Kentucky just does not have an answer for. Even said, it's going to be, there's a lot of talent all across the board, but how do you shut down Mark Sears? Well, I'm just here to tell you that Antonio Reeves, who is kind of battling Mark Sears with Dalton Connect, obviously, some other guys competing for the SEC Player of the Year. In that head-to-head SEC Player of the Year battle, Antonio Reeves won straight up. 6 turnovers for Mark Sears. He, got his 20, but it was a difficult 20. Everything Antonio Reeves came so easily. He's just so smooth and so gifted. It's like he just kind of opened up his bag of tricks and just kept pulling new stuff out. And the most impressive part of this is that, he's inching closer toward that 50-40-90 club, which is seen as like the most efficient, high level as a scorer. It's like the dream scenario for you. And he is just like right there. He's at 50% shooting, 45% from 3, 88% from the line on 19.9 points per game. Like,
silly.
That's just silly efficient.
I'll add, he won the head-to-head with Mark Sears. He didn't win the game against Tennessee, but Connect didn't play well against him, and then he'll get one more shot against Connect in Knoxville. I know Kentucky's record will probably keep him from winning that award if Alabama or Tennessee, finish with a strong record. But in the head-to-heads, Reeves has a strong case. It was fun watching him do it all over again. What we got next? We got a little Mississippi State. Is that Tuesday? Is that a 7 o'clock?
Your favorite city? I'll be there.
God bless your heart. Pray for Jack. He's going to Starkville. No one should have to do that. But are we back on a normal schedule? Is it Tuesday at 7? That's right, I believe. I'm going to say it is. If it's wrong, I'm going to look like an idiot. But do we believe, every time Kentucky does this, up and down, up and down, are they going to stack some wins together here, Jacob. Get it done in Mississippi State, and then come back. You have a couple very winnable games with Vandy and Arkansas. Then ended at Knoxville. You feeling good about the next one up, or is it kind of just day at a time with this team still?
Well, I doubted him before this one, so I feel like I should keep that doubt going.
Wait,
probably.
did you pick Alabama?
I picked Alabama. I will admit it.
Such a
So I might have to pick Mississippi State if they can do this.
We're sending you to Starkville.
But yeah, it's hard to. I have no idea what to expect from this team on a given night. They could come out amazing like this, or they could have a game like LSU. They could have a game like South Carolina. So I'm at the point where I don't even want to predict. I just have no idea what team we're going to see.
Well, I'm afraid you and everyone else has that same sentiment, but we know we're excited about what we saw today, and we hope we see a lot more of that version of Justin Edwards, that version of Big Z, and maybe that new 5. Just keep rolling. I mean, the other guys, we won't get into them now. It's a big day, but some guys got to play better if they're going to keep playing the minutes they're playing. I think some people might have gotten left behind today if Kentucky plays well Tuesday night. But we'll worry about that then. We're going to sign off now. It's Drew, Jack, Jacob. Thank you for watching. We're going to get back to work, maybe help clean this place up. We're usually one of the last to leave, but for now, signing off and go Cats.